Okay, Pastoria YouTube, it's your boy JJ here, back with some more Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Last time we explored the route to the east, caught our next team member in the form of Munchlax, and now in today's episode, we're going to be taking on the Pastoria Gym. Now, this gym here is actually a really interesting case, because it's actually, I believe, one of the three. Actually, now that I think about it, I think most of the majority of the gyms in Sinnoh have remained the same the entire time, from Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and now these games. But I believe I'm mentioning it now because I think this gym here is the only gym in all 5 of those games that have remained the same throughout the entire series in terms of the actual gym puzzle and all the trainers within them. The trainers use different Pokemon, I think. Like, I believe this trainer here has a B-Barrel or more than one, or a Shellos line instead of just Weasel here. But uh, in every single game, all these trainers are in the same exact same location, and obviously all have the same type of Pokemon, like water types. So, and I'm another reason why I'm bringing this up now is because in some of the other gyms in this game, in Diamond and Pearl, original one at least, not all of them use the type that their gym specializes in. I'm probably not making too much sense now, but I hope you guys are at least following here. And it might take a little while, but I do want to challenge every trainer in this gym. There are a fair amount, but however, once you beat the gym leader, they're all unable to battle you anymore. That's it. So it's better to at least get the experience now than waste it. Thankfully, though, even though there are a fair amount of trainers in this gym, they should not be too difficult, especially with the level we are now. And even then, there's not really that many of them. And at the rate we're going now with the damage we're dealing and the amount of Pokemon these guys have, it really should not take too long. Like right now, we already have 2 down, and I think 5 or 6 more to go. Probably wrong, but we can rush through them immediately. Well, not rush, but we can get through them. I want to save Roselia for the gym leader. I believe I mentioned this last time too. Roselia, with having a 10 power point Giga Drain, is really good in this game, or in this gym, but I really don't want to overuse her because we need to save all that power for the gym leader. And Manaphy cannot really damage water types much at all because all it has is Bubble Beam. It is what it is, though. I'm pretty sure we can beat this gym easily. I think this is why I'm leading Kricketune, because he has the most PP. But it's no stress. If I have to redo the puzzle again, it's not really an issue. As of the time I'm recording this, though, it's the 24th of January, which later this week, I believe on Friday? Thursday or Friday, Pokemon Legends Arceus comes out. And unfortunately, I'm upset about this, kind of. I, at the rate I'm going, I'm probably not going to finish the game until it comes out. I mean, but by the time Arceus comes out, I will still be playing Diamond and Pearl. I'm hoping I won't have too much left, but I don't think I can finish this game before that game comes out. I'll still be playing it for the channel, hopefully, but it might take a little while. And I think the main reason why I'm a little late with it is because I had to wait a little while in the beginning of the series just to make sure I had all the voiceover recording done. It was unfortunate, but I think it is what it is. Plus, a combination of other stuff like life and my job outside of YouTube really made it a bit unfortunate. But that's life. Sometimes I have to take the good with the bad, work with it, and make sure and hope everything works out. Here we have an Azurill. Although Azurill evolves into Marill and Azumarill, it is actually not a water type. In this game, it's normal and fairy, which I can kind of understand why they put it in here. It evolves into a water type, but this is kind of what I was talking about, where a lot of gyms in this series and in the Sinnoh games have Pokemon that do not match the primary type of the gym. we can let it slide for Azuro, but later on we're going to be seeing stuff like Metatite and Metacham in an Ice-type gym. Spoilers, by the way. Next, one of the gyms up ahead is Ice. But it's kind of what I'm talking about. The biggest, the most two striking examples are the upcoming Ice Gym, and well, it's not really spoilers because this game has been out for over 10 years. The original Diamond and Pearl, at least. But if you play the Diamond and Pearl, you know that the Ice Gym, the Electric Gym, and even a member of the Elite Four really lack the Pokemon to have the type they specialize in. And it's one of the most glaring, I don't want to say flaws, one of the most glaring issues with the higher up trainers in this game. And I suppose they did rectify that with some of the movesets. Like, we just faced a Meryl with Brick Break, which is a move it does not naturally get. So they're at least fixing up some of the stuff to make up for these errors. Which I can appreciate for sure, because it makes the game a lot more difficult. But it is a very notable change. I did almost forget to mention too, during the last episode, our starter Monferno evolved into Infernape. Unfortunately, since this is a water-type gym, he might not be getting too much action in terms of battling, especially with his newfound move Close Combat, which is a really good move. I'll try to use it on the gym leader's Pokemon, but Infernape might not be seeing too much use here. Gyarados. We don't really have much. I think I gotta stick with Quicker Tune here. Intimidate is the main reason why I'm so hesitant. And I know for a fact, with all the Gyarados we've seen, the gym leader has a Gyarados too that has Ice Fang. I'm certain of it. So I'm very wary of how that will play out if I try using Roselia. Right there we just dodged a Whirlpool, which is one of the benefits of the affection/friendship substitute? Why? They really gave Gyarados a lot of TM moves in these games. X is not a good move in this situation because Gyarados is part flying, and it broke it too. Okay, but I'm only using it to conserve some power points because I want to save some of these slashes. We might be needing it for the gym leader's Gyarados. Show off Hellstinger. Seeing Scary Face in this game look like an actually scary face makes me laugh because when that move was introduced back in Gen 2, the move was pretty much laser beams coming from a Pokemon that's using it. It is hilarious and so out of place. Anyway, I think I was talking about how Gyarados gets a lot of TM moves in these games. They are giving Gyarados a lot of like unique moves like Substitute, like we saw there, Earthquake, Waterfall. It gets Ice Fang naturally, but not really this early. And actually, I think this is the last train coming up ahead, so we made some pretty good time here. Not even 10 minutes. The trainer should have like more than 3 or 4 Pokemon though, somewhere around there. 3, yeah, reasonably. Shadows. I love Shadows, man. Such a good Pokemon. If I was not using Manaphy, I would almost definitely be using either Shadows or Floatzel. Although one part of me wanted to use Lumineon, solely because it's also a Pokemon you never really see used, and I want to be that unique person. That's why I'm using Quickatune here. But Shadows itself is such a unique Pokemon. It evolves into a water ground type, which is a really good typing, only weak to grass. And I think, as I said already, I was really planning on using it before I found out Manaphy was available. Probably would not have been as cheap, but with that really good typing, it would have been a great choice. There's that +3 from Felstinger. Wingull is frail. Does this mean Felstinger should KO it too? Excuse me. Let's see. Dude. +6. Amazing. Krigatune, in competitive battling, all it can really do is Sticky Web, and if it somehow gets a Fell Stinger up, it can do some decent damage. But and with Technician, it can also. I mentioned this like a few times already. With Technician Fury Cutter, it can do damage, but it's just too slow, and it can't really hit hard enough to really hit to do damage against Pokemon, an enemy Pokemon. I mean, excuse me. But there we go. Last of the gym trainers. And we'll flood the gym one last time. And here we go. The gym leader, Crasher Wake. It's gonna save, because only you can prevent lost save data. He's a big boy. Toughed out by the stormy white waters. The water's blue! Against WWE Champion Crasher Wake. Bad joke, but I can't help it. Starts off with the Gyarados. I mentioned this earlier, and I'm admittedly a bit nervous of what this Gyarados can do, because I believe it has Earthquake, Ice Fang, and Waterfall right off the bat, which is a very scary combination. Although I do appreciate the fact that they gave this Gyarados Earthquake, because it means he can counter Crunch too. It means he can counter Electric type, which is one of Gyarados' major weaknesses. And yeah, they did lower his level to be equal to Maylene, so you really can battle him or Maylene in whichever order you prefer. This is another example of me bringing up Platinum again, but in Platinum, he is meant to be battled directly after Maylene, and his team levels show it, because in that game, Gyarados, I believe, is around 29 or early 30s, and his ace is, I believe, 37, which is where we are now. So in the case of the gym leaders, they up the difficulty of their levels, and even some of their movesets as well. But the later game is a little bit lower, but in my opinion, still just as difficult. There goes Gyarados. And switching Quagsire. Quagsire was the main reason I wanted to use Roselia, because there's no way Quagsire feasibly survives Giga Drain. Although I do think in this game specifically, they gave Quagsire a Rendo Berry, which weakens the power of Giga Drain, and Grass is the only weakness that water ground types have. And I was wrong. He does not have one, at least not yet. I could have sworn he does though. Or maybe I'm thinking of Gyarados with a Wakan Berry? It is what it is though. We brought the Moltown, and here's Crasher Wake's ace. Of course it was a good move. It was 4 times effective. Floatzel's so cool, man. I love this Pokemon too. If there's anything... And we avoid the attack. Did we just sweep Crasher Wake? We did. I can't believe I was actually a little bit worried about this gym. Anyway. If there's anything that I believe Generation 4 did really correctly, was the water types. Even though Lumineon is a bit hit or miss with some people, I like its design, even though it's not really good in battle. Empoleon is a fantastic Pokemon, which is good all around. Also, I do know how to clean the badges now. It's actually on the handheld mode of the Nintendo Switch. And I still haven't gotten around to it, but I swear I will. I have to make a mental note to clean the badges next time. Got some more stickers. And TM55 for the move Brine. Brine is an interesting move that inflicts double damage whenever your target is less than half HP. So if your opponent is in the yellow and you use Brine, the move will do double damage, and if it's at least neutral or super effective, almost guarantee a KO. However, it's a bit niche, but it can be reliable if used correctly. But with all that said and done, we're ready to move on. Took a lot less time than I thought it would. I honestly was expecting this episode to go for the whole episode to be about the gym. But seems like we can avoid that. Cricketune and Rosalie put in a lot of the work here. Mostly Cricketune for pretty much taking the entire gym on his own. But let's give him a rest this time. We haven't seen Manaphy yet, so and they're the lowest level, so why don't we put him up first? Now, this Galactic Grunt up here by the Great Marsh mentioned that he only have 3 badges. We got our 4th now, so what did he say? Package finally came in, delivered to the lake. Like wandering off into the Great Marsh. Okay, there is, again, in Platinum, but this is an important one as well. Right after you beat Crash Awaken Platinum, it turns out this grunt actually activated his package, which is actually a bomb, in the Great Marsh. It ends up not doing much damage, but it really shows into how serious King Galactic can be. This moment here, however, is only in Diamond and Pearl. After talking to the grunt here, we have Barry. You actually do battle Barry here in Pastoria City, but right before you enter the gym for the first time, he will battle you there. And in that location, it's actually pretty interesting because in Platinum, again, his team is a lot different. Like, here he does not have a Starly anymore. He would have a Staravia pretty much ready to evolve at level 34. Instead of here, it's level 26. His team, aside from that, remains mostly the same depending on your starter, but in Platinum, his starter will be level 36 as well. Pretty much ready to evolve, or if he picked Turtwig, it should already be evolved. So yeah, the levels are drastically different between the games, but difficulty should remain mostly the same. Movesets are a little bit different, especially here in Brilliant Diamond and Pearl, and Shining Pearl, excuse me. But regardless of the levels, I find personally that Barry's difficulty doesn't really change too much. Like as you can see here, not even because of how overleveled we are. Barry in and of himself isn't too difficult to deal with at times, depending on the team you have. We got Munchlax gaining a level as well. Honestly, it might be a while before Munchlax evolves, solely because of we just caught him. Even though he has the Soothe Bell, I don't know the exact amount of friendship needed to have a Munchlax evolve, so it might take a little while, but hey, it is what it is. As long as you keep him alive and make sure he can fend for himself. Which, I hope we have that Fissure luck ready, because I don't know why they gave Munchlax Fissure. I think... Okay, so I believe in the last episode I mentioned that Munchlax is available in the Grand Underground. And it seems like every Pokemon found there has an egg move, which can vary from okay to really good. Like wild Elekid down there can have Cross Chop, which is inaccurate at times, but fairly powerful. And we're already down to Barry's last Pokemon. Which is no threat. Like, at all. Looking ahead to the rest of the game in front of us, even though we are very overleveled right now, the game is quickly gonna jump up in levels a bit. Because of what we have ahead, even though most of the trainers aren't really gonna be too tough, the next gym does take a bit of a drastic jump. We had level 30 right now to, I believe the next gym is actually going to be level 39 or 40, so it is a noticeable increase. But in the original games, that's how it was the exact same, and we have plenty of stuff to go through before we reach the next gym. So it balances out. I do have the bike as well, but honestly, with how running is in this game, I think it kind of, I don't want to say evens out again, but it's honestly just as fast. I mean, the bike is obviously faster, but running feels balanced. Not too fast, but fast enough to progress. I'm probably making no sense right now, but again, please bear with me. Convenient healing location is very convenient. we got on our way. We do actually have to battle this galactic grunt as well, but he's really easy to beat. He only has one Pokemon, and I believe it's either a Stunky or a Krogunk. He didn't even get too far either. When it comes, I mentioned earlier that Legends Arceus is actually less than a week away at this point of the recording. Lamias, I was wrong on both accounts. But with Legends Arceus, I do know that pretty much the whole game is leaked by now, and I'm trying my hardest to avoid any and all of those leaks, but it's hard. It's really hard. Everybody's talking about it, and it just makes me annoyed. I can't prevent it, but I'm doing my best to avoid it. But the reason I bring it up now is because I'm honestly rather, not concerned, but I'm wondering if, because many of the characters revealed so far seem to be ancestors, or at least related to many of the characters within Diamond and Pearl, the Sinnoh games at least, does this mean that, uh, I lost my train of thought already. Well, because Cynthia, the Psyduck on Route 210, we passed by them, and we have the Secret Medicine. The Secret Medicine is actually called the Secret Potion in the DS games, which is a reference to the Johto games, where they were actually used in Olivine City to cure the Ampharos named Amphi. So that's one of the hints that Johto remakes were coming after Sinnoh. I remember what I was talking about now. So with Legends Arceus coming soon, in a few days, it made me wonder, will we see a variant of Team Galactic at all? One of the characters has a striking resemblance to Cyrus, and another one to Mars, so I'm kind of left wondering, is there going to be a version of Team Galactic somewhere? We'll see in less than a week, but I have a feeling we might in some capacity. I mean, it's not exactly Sinnoh, but it is Sinnoh, but in the past. But since it's not really Sinnoh yet, I'm sure we'll see something like this. Something like that, I mean, like Team Galactic. I can't even talk right anymore. Well, to be fair, I never could in the first place. But, there we go, secret potions being used. You dumb duck, they went that way. Here we go, Cynthia. Cynthia. Ugh. Blah, blah, blah. Can't talk. Sorry about that, taking a little drink right there. Chronic headaches. Those headaches are actually, not really a reference, but it's, you see it a bit often in the anime with Misty's Psyduck. And speaking of the anime, even though Misty has returned, I don't recall ever seeing her Psyduck come back, which is a little underwhelming, since it would have been fun to see its shenanigans one more time. But who knows, maybe we'll see it again one day. A wild encounter here. Well, fun fact about these encounters in Platinum again. Again, bringing up that game, but I believe this is the second route where you can find Wild Scyther. The first route is to the east of this location, right by Veilstone, and you can actually find them there, alongside Wild Lickitung, which in this game you can find both in the Grand Underground. So, one step. Ugh. So if you want to find one of those Pokemons who's in your team, they're right over there. Ugh. If there's one thing I really did not miss about these old games, it's the randomness of these wild encounters and how you can pretty much take one step before finding something. Can't even get to that little patch of empty space there. Even the magnificent moustache of Kricketune cannot make this pain go away. Now, in Diamond and Pearl and the remakes here, there is actually a very important item over in down south in the Lost Tower, but I'll be visiting that in another episode, probably the next episode after this. Ninja Boy Fabian. I believe this has been the first Ninja Boy since the route east of Eterna City, which is understandable since we're actually really kind of taking the roundabout path back to Eterna. Only reason we can't actually do that is because we're still blocked off by that strength rock. But that's not really going to be an issue for much longer, considering what's coming up next. I'll try not to spoil that though, at least. I believe Manaphy tried to learn Whirlpool already, but didn't accept it because it's not really a strong move. I'm not saying I regret it now, but having that extra chip damage from Whirlpool could have been nice. But I think we're still fine as is. These other three moves we have here, Charm, Tail Glow, and Acid Armor, are still really good moves. And that's kind of the issue with Manaphy as a whole, or even a lot of these base 100 Mysticals. They learn a lot of really good moves, and sometimes it's hard to really put just 4 of them on one moveset. And even Pokemon like Infernape have problems having uh, more than limiting themselves to just 4 moves. A lot of Pokemon have that, and there's even a term for it called four move syndrome. It's uh, it's not really depressing, I want to say, but it can be upsetting just to have to really plan out whatever moves you want to give. And Jesus Christ, come on now. Do I have any repels? I'm going to use a repel. I'm pretty sure I have some. I should have been using this strategy a long time ago just to avoid random encounters, but now it's getting to be a bit annoying. But yeah, there are a lot of Pokemon that really are limited to just having 4 moves, even though I have 11 repels, even though they can prosper having more than 4, but it works with balancing because you really don't want to have an overpowered Pokemon with just those many moves. Finally, we can move without having to deal with wild Pokemon anymore. This short section of the route isn't too long, but I believe there are 2 or 3 trainers around here. And now that I think about it, there actually is a unique Pokemon you can encounter here in Platinum, and that is Swablu. Swablu is a normal and flying type that evolves into a dragon type, which would be the second dragon type you would encounter. The first being Gibble. Use Defog the first time, and just like Fly, it's a wild Staraptor. Seeing a Staraptor with Defog is honestly kind of cursed because it feels like a bad move to give Staraptor. It's a great move, don't get me wrong, but I would just personally not give Staraptor Defog, at least not in this game. Ninja Boy Joel. Okay, so I'm not sure how many of you people have ever heard of Varg Skeletor? Varg Skeletor, however you pronounce the name. A member of Vinesauce, which is they're both really good channels. Vinesauce and Varg Skeletor, whose name is Joel. The both channels are hilarious. I'd really recommend watching them if you ever get the chance to. Skorupi. Is this the first trainer using Skorupi? It might be. And of course he has 4 Pokemon. Skorupi was another Pokemon I planned to use in the party, but because its evolved form is part Dark, and we already have a Dark type, I considered against it. I believe I brought this up before, and how even though they're both Dark, they have different weaknesses. But I really do not like using 2 Pokemon of the same type on my team, just for the sake of variety and balance. But it is what it is. Both Honchkrow and Drapion are really good Pokemon. And is this the first Golbat we've seen? Again, I keep asking that, but probably not. One thing I will say about this route, though, a lot of the trainers we have up ahead actually do have some rather unique Pokemon, at least from what I remember. We'll see in a few minutes, but I believe they do. Well, not a few minutes for me, but next episode for you guys. Getting one last level. And there we go. And I'm saying next episode because it's been about a half hour now. We've done a lot of progress this episode. We've gotten our 4th gym badge, made a bit of progress, and we now have our next objective as well. So, next time on Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, we'll explore the rest of this route and see what it has for us up ahead. See you guys then.